Right now, there are people around you, talking to you, smiling with you, being part of your life, but something feels off, not clearly wrong, but not fully right either. You can't explain it, but you can feel it, a small discomfort, a quiet doubt, a sense that something isn't genuine, and you keep ignoring it, because you don't want to assume the worst, because you want to trust, because you don't want to lose people. But listen carefully, Jesus is saying, my child. Not everyone around you is meant to stay. Not everyone who enters your life comes with good intentions. Not everyone who smiles with you is happy for you. Not everyone who speaks kindly is truly aligned with you. Jesus says, my child. I will show you who is real, but you must pay attention. Because I speak to you, not always with words, but through feelings, through intuition, through that quiet voice inside you. That feeling you keep ignoring is not random, it is guidance, it is protection. Jesus is saying, my child. When something feels off, do not ignore it. You don't need proof immediately, you don't need to confront everything, but you do need to be aware. Because the wrong people can drain your peace, confuse your direction, slow down your growth, and sometimes, you don't notice it until later. Jesus says, my child. Protect your heart, protect your energy, protect your path. Not everyone deserves full access to your life, not everyone deserves your trust, not everyone deserves your time, and that's okay, because your peace is more important than keeping everyone, your growth is more important than pleasing everyone. Jesus is saying, my child. I will remove what is not good for you, but you must be willing to let it go. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's unexpected, even if it feels difficult at first. Because what I remove is making space for something better, something real, something aligned, something safe for your heart. So don't ignore the signs anymore, don't silence your intuition, don't force connections that don't feel right, because you are being guided, protected, and led toward something better. If you are ready to trust your intuition and protect your peace, type Amen and stay aware. Now, the feeling you had before becomes clearer, not confusing anymore, but noticeable. Jesus is saying, my child. I will not leave you in confusion, I will show you the truth. You may begin to notice certain signs, not big, dramatic ones, but small, repeated patterns, and those patterns reveal everything. One sign is this: your peace disappears around them, you feel tense, uncomfortable, not fully yourself. Jesus says, my child. What is meant for you will not disturb your spirit. Another sign: their words and actions don't match. They say one thing, but do another. They promise, but don't follow through, and slowly, trust becomes weak. Jesus is saying, my child. Truth is consistent, what is real does not keep changing. Another sign: you feel drained after being with them, not uplifted, not supported, but tired, heavy, confused. Because not everyone adds to your life, some take from it. Jesus says, my child. Be careful who you allow to have access to your energy. And another sign: you keep making excuses for them, you ignore what you feel, you try to convince yourself everything is fine, but deep inside, you know the truth. Jesus is saying, my child. Do not ignore what I am showing you. Because these signs are not meant to scare you, they are meant to guide you, to protect you, to help you choose wisely. At this stage, you don't need to react immediately, you don't need to create conflict, but you do need awareness, clarity, honesty with yourself. Jesus says, my child. Distance is sometimes the protection you need. Not everyone has to be removed with drama. Some people just need less access to you, less influence in your life, less closeness to your heart, because your peace is worth protecting, your path is worth guarding, your future is worth choosing wisely for. If you're ready to see clearly and protect your peace, type Amen and trust what you feel. Now, you see clearly, you understand the signs, you feel the truth, but something inside you still hesitates, because walking away feels hard. You think, what if I hurt them? What if I'm wrong? What if I regret this? And slowly, guilt begins to hold you back, but listen carefully, Jesus is saying, my child. Choosing your peace is not wrong. You are not hurting someone by protecting yourself, you are not doing something bad by creating distance, you are not selfish for choosing what is right for you. Jesus says, my child. I did not call you to stay where you are not respected. At this stage, you don't need anger, you don't need arguments. You don't need to explain everything. Sometimes, silence is enough, distance is enough, your actions will speak for you. Jesus is saying, my child. You don't need to fight to walk away. You can leave peacefully, you can step back quietly, you can choose yourself, without creating drama. And yes, at first, it may feel uncomfortable, you may feel unsure, you may even feel lonely for a moment, but that feeling is temporary, because what you are creating is space for better people, better energy, better connections. Jesus says, my child. Every time you choose peace, you move closer to what is meant for you. So don't let guilt keep you stuck, don't let fear hold you back. Don't stay where your heart feels heavy, because your life is meant to feel lighter, clearer, more peaceful, and you deserve that. If you are ready to choose peace without guilt, type Amen and move forward. Now, you've stepped back, you created distance, you chose your peace, and at first, it feels quiet, different, almost empty, because something that once filled your time is no longer there. You may feel a little lonely, a little unsure, a little unfamiliar with this new space, but listen carefully, Jesus is saying, my child. What feels empty now is actually making room. Room for something better, room for something real, room for something aligned, because what you released was not meant to stay, and now, your life begins to reset, your energy begins to return, your mind becomes clearer, your heart feels lighter. Jesus says, my child. When you remove what drains you, you make space for what strengthens you. And slowly, you begin to notice change, not in a loud way, but in a peaceful way. You feel more like yourself, you think more clearly, you trust yourself more, and something inside you becomes stronger, more confident, more aware. Jesus is saying, my child. This is your transformation. Because you didn't just walk away, you grew, you learned, you chose wisely, and now, you are becoming someone who protects their peace, listens to their intuition, chooses what is right, and because of that, what comes next will be different, better, healthier, more aligned with your life. Jesus says, my child. I reward those who choose peace over confusion. So don't look back with doubt, don't question your decision, because what you did was necessary, and it is leading you somewhere better. If you feel yourself becoming stronger after letting go, type Amen and embrace this new chapter. Now, the space you created does not stay empty, because something new begins to enter. Jesus is saying, my child. When you release the wrong people, I bring the right ones. At first, it may happen quietly, unexpectedly, naturally. You may begin to notice someone who understands you without effort, conversations that feel easy and real, connections that bring peace, not confusion, and something inside you will recognize it, because this feels different, safe, genuine, supportive. Jesus says, my child. What is meant for you will feel right, not forced. At this stage, you don't feel the need to prove yourself, you don't feel the need to chase attention, you don't feel the need to question everything. Because now, you are being met with clarity, with honesty, with respect, and that changes everything. Jesus is saying, my child. I am surrounding you with what aligns with your peace. Because you chose differently, your life is now attracting differently, better people, better energy, better connections, and as these enter your life, you begin to understand why things didn't work before, why certain people had to leave, why distance was necessary. Jesus says, "My child, what I bring to you now will not break your peace." So trust these new connections, take your time, stay aware, but don't close your heart, because what is entering your life now is meant to support you, not drain you. If you are ready to welcome better people into your life, type Amen and stay open.